It's just that's what he was doing while he was arrested. And basically, he was being a knobhead.
Is that the reason he was arrested?
Being a knobhead. Proper Florida man is knobhead.
We're arresting you on account of being a knobhead.
Basically, he was drunk. He was being... Hello and welcome back to another week of Two Sheep in a Pool. My name's James.
My name's Ben.
How are you?
I'm not good.
You've not been feeling well after your run, have you?
I've not. I wasn't feeling good before the run either.
True.
Shouldn't have done the run.
But you got a good time.
I did. I got a good time considering.
Yes.
So I was pleased that I was ill and got a decent time, but frustrated because it would have been a really good time if I wasn't ill.
So tell the people, Ben, how far did you run and what time did you do it in?
I ran 10 kilometers in 50 minutes and 38 seconds.
Do you wish you got sub 50?
Yes, that was my plan. And I woke up the day before and I could feel I was getting ill. By that evening, I was very ill. And then the morning of, I was very, very ill. But I still did it, which is a stupid idea.
Yes, yeah. So it didn't help you out at all, did it?
It didn't. But I was still pleased I got near the 50. But it was made all the more frustrating that it was close to the 50.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Did you know, could you have, here's a silly question, could you have gone any quicker knowing that you were so close? Like, could you have just sprinted that
I was right on the limit I felt like death.
Yeah.
It was one of the, because I wear a watch that does my heart rate all the time.
Yeah.
And my resting heart rate's around 52.3 at the moment. And it's been like high 60s, low 70s, just sitting down the past few days. So I knew it wasn't going to be good from the off.
Yeah. And what else? Somewhat with your lips as well, you've been saying.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't know. It must be related to it. But they've just been the most painful, stinging, dry lips. It's been horrible.
Yeah. I came around the other day and you're just like lathering yourself up with Vaseline. It was very strange.
Yeah, I've never experienced it in my life before.
No.
I don't know whether it's because I made myself like extra dehydrated from doing the run while I was ill.
Probably.
Because it came on during the run. Like halfway through, I was focusing more on my lips than the pain anywhere else. I was like, I didn't know what was happening. And then the most frustrating thing was I got to the water station and every person that I ran past had just handed out the last bottle, so I didn't even get water on it. I don't know what's been going on there. It's a bit better today.
Good.
Not sore.
Good. You don't look as Vaselined up.
No Vaseline.
You have a slick lip.
No, not slick lips.
So that's your complaint then, your lips.
Oh, yeah, that's my complaint's been just feeling very sorry for myself.
No.
And that is my complaint.
Yeah, so I had some feedback from some of my friends kind of taking the mick out of me for my inability to tear apart 2 tea bags.
I mean, that was the pettiest complaint.
It was. But, my friend Mary, she was saying, I hope you did a little grimace while I was pulling these tea bags apart with how little strength I had. Mm-hmm. So I felt...
What was the... I don't think we got down to the root of your complaint, really. Was it that just the act of having to pull them apart annoyed you?
Yeah, why?
Or it wasn't that it was so much of a roadblock that you couldn't tear them apart?
No.
I could understand that.
I know, it's not like I was struggling. It was just frustrating to do. Like, I feel like that should have been done at the factory. Yeah. Have some sort of tearing apart robot.
From a strong man working in the factory.
Yeah. Yes. No. They're going to implement it. All right, we're just going to tear James's tea bags apart for him.
Yeah.
No. Because that's like the only tea bag that happens to. Surely the rest of them make them connected and then tear them apart before they go in your box.
What brand was it?
It was Yorkshire tea bags.
Mm-hmm.
And never again.
Never again.
Not
until they hire a strong Yorkshireman to separate them.
I only go for Lancashire tea bags now.
I think that's a fair decision. Have you got no current complaints though?
No, not really. Apart from just getting frustrated at Smash still. Like I spoke about it earlier and I feel like I'm just getting worse and worse. That or you're getting better and better.
You should clarify Smash Bros. Is a game.
Is a game, yeah.
You bought a fighting game.
A fighting game, yes.
Just for the non-gamers listening.
Yeah, and so me and Ben have been playing it quite a bit. And I've kind of reaffirmed the fact that I think I'm terrible.
You're still better than me.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean much.
But the gap's closed, that's for sure.
Considering you'd never played the game before. I mean, it's not like I'd played it a lot.
No.
But still, I feel aggravated by it.
I thought your complaint might be me complaining about being ill. I thought there's a point where that's going to get tiresome.
To be fair, I've seen you in quite quick succession, but no.
Yeah.
I still feel sympathy for you at the moment.
Thank you.
Good.
Right, shall we move on to some follow-up business?
Yes, shall we?
From last week. So for anyone who didn't listen last week, we did an episode on technology where we realized that phones were taking over our lives and we were spending far too many hours on our phones.
Just looking at screens.
So there's an app on phones, if you've not seen it, or on most phones, I should say, that breaks down how many hours you've spent on certain apps and looking at your screen.
Yeah.
And we decided that we were going to limit our most used apps to 10 minutes a day in a bid to stop us from spending our lives on our phones.
Yeah.
So, how have you got on with your challenge?
I mean, I found it really quite difficult. Like, I've kind of got muscle memory opening my phone and just wanting to click on Reddit and just spend time on that.
Did you find that lesson through the week, though?
Yes.
I did as
for
well.
sure. Like, I was using up 10 minutes very early in the day, and now I'm getting through the end of the day and still having time left.
Yeah.
But now I just kind of like open my phone and then just kind of like look at it like...
That's exactly what I've been doing.
What are you good for me now? I don't know whether... my average time has definitely come down. Like, it was up over 5 hours, wasn't it?
So what I was curious for... Actually, yeah. So mine was 3 hours 15 per day. So what was yours?
Mine was like averaging like 5.5, probably, something like that.
But your most used was Reddit, wasn't it?
Yeah, by far. And then YouTube, and then everything else just dropped off.
Should we have a look at our new figures?
Yes. Shall I tell you what I think's happened with me?
Okay, you predict what's happened with you.
I think what I've done is I've just used YouTube much more.
So you substituted.
Basically,
Yeah.
I've just spent a lot more time on YouTube.
So are you predicting that your daily hours has come down?
I can see that it has come down a little bit.
Yeah.
But not massively. It's
And we're
down.
actually-
Each one's under 4 hours. I had like 3 hour 20 and stuff like that.
We're recording this a day earlier than last week. So we've actually not done a full 7 days yet, have we?
No.
So the numbers will be a little off. Right.
What about you?
I'm looking at mine now, so I can't really predict. But I thought it would have come down because I have substantially noticed a difference. I've stopped using my phone while I'm doing something else. So if we were watching something on TV, I'd find myself scrolling at the same time. And I found that I've not been doing that through the last week. I've actually just been focused on one thing and paying attention more.
Yeah.
So I was expecting it to come down, and it has. That's for sure.
Good.
Right, so from 3.5 hours a day, it's dropped to 1 hour 40 a day.
Nice. Are you happy with that?
I am happy with that.
Yeah.
I think that's quite a big drop. Yeah.
That's good. I never really used my phone while I was watching TV or doing something like that, or I'd just be watching TV really. Like me and Annie would just watch TV, for example, Game of Thrones, and then I wouldn't be on my phone doing anything while I'm doing that. I'd just watch the TV.
I wouldn't say it wasn't exclusively that. The biggest difference that I've noticed is the reflex action of going to it. So if I was in a lift, if I was doing a gig and I just finished setting up, I'd always go to it. And I did find myself the first day of putting the timer on, I'd used up 4 minutes of my 10-minute capacity without meaning to. I'd open my phone and it took me 4 minutes to realize I'd been scrolling through and I hadn't even meant to open it. But that's stopped now after a week. Yeah. And I think I found yesterday and the day before, I didn't even use up my 10 minutes.
No, I don't think I did.
So it's been good.
Yeah, that's good.
So my weekly total now, it says Facebook is an hour, but that's obviously not including tomorrow, which makes up 40 minutes. So it's been a big drop.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So I think your usage of your general phone's come down. My phone has definitely come down, but my usage of YouTube has gone up.
Okay.
But I wouldn't, then I don't use YouTube in the in-between times, like when you say you're just doing it when you had nothing.
Just the scrolling.
Like often I would get in your lift and I'd go on Reddit for that, 20-second journey.
Yeah, it's the most, that's the thing I realized, it's the most pointless uses. It's just something to fill time. It's like binge eating when you're not hungry. Yeah. There's no use for it really. No. It's not benefiting. It's just to fill time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm getting more control over myself and my phone usage, which is good. And I think it's probably giving me more attention in the rest of my life as well. So I'm like not using my phone as much.
So what's your numbers come down to?
So I went from having like 5.5 hours or so, and then like so basically this week it's been under 4 hours generally.
Under 4.
Yeah. So
that's an hour drop a
yesterday
day.
Was 2.5
Yeah.
hours. So it's generally come down a bit. But most of that is, I'm spending an hour and a half on YouTube out of 2 hour 40 on my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of just watching YouTube videos on my phone instead of doing Reddit.
Here's a question.
Go on.
Have you still been using Reddit on other devices?
Yes, but not massively.
Okay, cool.
So sometimes I'll be on my computer and I'll be doing, maybe some sort of chess work. And then maybe I'll finish and then I'll go on Reddit after that. But not a huge amount. And I don't use my computer all that often anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, a little bit. Have you been using Facebook on anything else?
Nothing. No. The only other device I use is my iPad, but it's almost exclusively just for work. I'll just have like chords and stuff on there when I'm doing music stuff. So no, it really has been cut down. I feel like I've barely been on my phone this week compared to previous weeks. There was a period where I felt like I was missing out, but that's lessened as the week's gone on.
Shall I tell you what my mum messaged me, and I'll tell you what time she had.
Yeah, go on.
So my mum was 2 hours and 6 minutes per day, but that was up 172%. So that mustn't be the average. I don't know whether she had a slow week the week before.
Must have done.
Phone usage, and now it's gone up. Shall I tell you what her number one used app was?
Please do.
Candy Crush Saga.
Commitment to the game.
That my mum loves that game.
Yeah.
I've been getting notifications. Not anymore, but I used to get, because you used to, or maybe you still do, if you send invites to someone, then you get an extra
wants
life.
You to play. Yeah.
My mum, I was like, if you want, you can just send them to me because I'll ignore you, so that you don't bother the rest of your friends list, and everybody hates you. Yeah.
I feel like it's a game that mums love. I know my girlfriend's mum plays lots of Candy Crush.
I think it's got retro feel to it.
Yeah.
And it's relatively simple, but then to get you into it, and then obviously has more and more combos, and you do feel like you're getting better and better at it.
Yeah.
So, each to their own. I play my games, mum plays her games. Her second most used app was Facebook.
A fellow Facebook user.
Yeah. My mum, I think, loves a bit of Facebook. She's a big poster on Facebook. My mum loves a good post.
Yeah. I think I'm for the amount of hours that I was using it, I didn't post. I don't think I've posted for like 2 years.
Yeah, like I said, I think you use Facebook like I use Reddit.
Yeah. But big question: are you going to enforce your limit going forward?
Yeah, I'm going to keep on it. I think for a little while.
Are you going to keep on 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Like I've been using Facebook, Twitter, and I might put it on Instagram. Although I don't follow enough people that I could spend more than 10 minutes on it.
Yeah.
Like I'll scroll through and like, oh, that's everybody today.
Yep.
Done. Yeah. So maybe the next one will be YouTube.
Yeah.
But I feel like I use YouTube in a different way than I use Reddit.
That's kind of what we were saying before. I think we use it as a substitute for TV.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, I think for sure. Actually, Ben. Unrelated to this.
Go on.
I might have a complaint.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to write out a word for you.
Okay.
And I want you to say it, because then I'll say it how I say it.
Okay.
Because I got a gentle ribbing, maybe not even gentle.
She's got punched in the ribs.
No, some bullying on how to say this word.
Taboo.
So I would say taboo as well.
Taboo. Yeah.
Right. But my friends were saying like taboo.
Taboo?
Yeah. So thank you. Right. So you agree that it's
taboo. It's like that's a taboo topic that we don't talk about.
Right. So I was surrounded by like, Fraser and Dulcie.
Yeah. He was surrounded by two people.
Surrounded by two, but they're Southerners generally.
Yeah. Bloody Southerners.
And they're like taboo. Like it's like the word tab and then ooh after it.
So hang on, let's use this in a sentence. Okay. That's a taboo subject that we can't talk. That sounds wrong.
Yeah, taboo, innit?
Taboo. That's taboo.
The more I say it, the more northern it sounds to me.
It's the effect's happening, when you say a word enough, that it just doesn't, it's not a word anymore.
No.
It feels like it loses all meaning. That's what's happening now.
Taboo.
Taboo.
To me.
Taboo. To you.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I could bring that up to see how you said it, and so I didn't feel so bullied.
No, I think taboo.
Right, thank you.
Yeah.
Because I was saying it like that, and then Annie wasn't backing me up. She was staying surprisingly quiet. And I was just...
Well, she's not saying either way.
Well,
I have no opinion on this matter.
Yeah, I think she just didn't want also to get the bullying, so she wouldn't stick up for me.
Well, I'll have you back.
Thank you.
Should we stop saying taboo now?
Taboo.
Okay. Before we do news, you had a topic that you wanted to ask me about.
I did. Yes.
Go on.
So I was curious to know what your opinion on Billie Eilish and her music is. Because for me, listening to what's kind of in the charts at the moment, she has got a very different sound to anything else that's in the chart.
Yeah.
And I was curious to see what your opinion was on it, being a music man yourself.
I really like her music.
Yeah.
And I really like what you just said as well. I love it when music that it is pop, but it's not mainstream pop. And I love it when music like that breaks into the mainstream because it's a bit different. It feels like she definitely feels like an artist who has something to say rather than just putting out random songs that are chosen for her.
For sure.
Type thing. And also the most impressive thing is I think she's 17.
Yeah, 17.
She kind of broke through at 16. She seems way older than she is.
Yeah. I think she has a lot of her songs have like this depressive emo feel about them, which I think is almost kind of a little bit internet meme culture. I think, do you know, people will make suicide jokes.
Yeah.
Maybe untastefully.
Yeah.
But that could kind of be like an online culture, and maybe that's the culture she grew up in, and makes this kind of music because of that. But I don't know.
She definitely seems like a wise beyond her years.
Yes.
When I've seen her in interviews and stuff.
Yeah. I watched her on... have you seen the YouTube show Hot Ones?
Yes, the Hot Wing.
Yeah.
I love that show, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought she was very good on that. And I saw an interview of her where she was interviewed at 16, and then they interviewed her again with the same questions at 17, and they showed her kind of her responses from a year ago, which I thought was a really interesting concept.
I thought that was super interesting to see what... the interview the first time was before she'd broken into mainstream pop.
Yeah.
She was still known, but not super well known. And then a year later, she'd kind of gained celebrity.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard to tell in an interview, but she seemed a lot less happy in herself since gaining the fame than she did prior to that, which...
She seemed more carefree when she was younger.
Definitely.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So you like her music then?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm undecided. I can't... It's not something that I feel like you can bop and sing along to.
No.
Which is not... that's kind of what pop music is. So when I'm listening to it in the car or something like that, it feels out of place with the rest of the radio.
Yeah.
Which it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just different.
Yeah.
Which it surprised me, why has she got into mainstream when nobody else that does that kind of stuff has? Do you have an answer for that?
Not really. That's why I like it when that happens, though.
Yeah.
Like it happens... who's that other one? His name's gone out my head.
Does he do folk stuff?
No, he's the one that did Somebody That I Used to Know.
Gotcha,
that one. Like all of his other stuff, if you listen to it, is super weird.
Is it?
And that one, whilst being kind of pop friendly, isn't like a traditional pop song.
No, it's Bar Bar Black Sheep, isn't it?
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So I don't know if there is an answer on why certain things suddenly break through, but it's refreshing when they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Does it give you hope as a musician that doesn't necessarily do pop music to maybe Guyana?
Guyana?
Is that a country? Guyana.
Yeah, Guyana, isn't it?
Ghana.
Popularity
and fame, and
definitely.
Your music being popular.
But I think as well, there's still huge audiences, and I think the internet has helped this. You can be successful off not getting into chart music as well.
Yeah, but being niche, being, metal music has got a huge following, but you very rarely see it
Get like a number one.
Yeah, in pop culture. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
All right,
There we go.
good. Right, should we move on?
Newsbleed?
Newsbleed.
There we go. Right then, what's going on in the world this week?
The big news that has kind of happened over the last day or so is the chapel, the Cathedral of Notre Dame, has been set on fire, is on fire.
Yeah.
I think they put it out now.
Sad news.
But it's kind of burnt a lot down. It's not completely destroyed.
Is it not? The last I saw was like huge chunks of it just going.
The
like
roof
it looked
collapsed,
like it was all but gone.
and the spire has collapsed, but like a lot of the inside has been, some bits of the inside have been saved.
Yeah.
So,
have you seen if is there a reason?
The reason that I saw that it happened is basically they think they've been doing restoration works on it, and they think that something from that has started a fire.
Started it.
Probably an electrical fault or something along those lines.
There's something kind of sadly ironic that it's being burnt down from restoration attempts.
Yeah, sad, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. Have you ever been?
I've not. I've not been. Have you?
I have.
What did you think of it?
It was very impressive.
Yeah.
We didn't actually go in, but we saw it from the outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from the pictures that I've seen of it in the past, it is magnificent and beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful. And I think will be a massive loss.
Yeah. I'm sure it will be rebuilt.
Yeah, of course.
For sure.
I think it's so iconic that they couldn't not rebuild it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't know if you saw that Trump tweeted about it.
Oh God, I didn't. What happened?
Basically, was shall I get the tweet up and read it to you?
Yeah, please do. Or don't. I don't even know if I want to hear this.
So he just tweeted saying, "So horrible to watch the massive fire at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Perhaps flying water tankers could be used to put it out. Must act quickly." Because Donald Trump is a well-known firefighter.
Yes.
And basically, like the Paris... Is it in Paris?
Yeah.
Yeah. For a second there, I was like, is it in Paris?
No, it is in Paris.
Yeah. Like fire department have basically said, everything is done in our power to try and put out this fire, except flying water tanks, because that will make the whole building collapse. Yeah. Basically being like, you're an idiot.
He has a trend of doing that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Giving advice on something he knows nothing about to make it look like he's doing stuff. What? Because I feel like he's done a lot of tweets like that where he's like, "This needs to be done. Act quickly."
I think it's probably because he probably looks good to his followers.
Yeah.
Look, he's following current events. Or he could give valuable information to anybody and anything.
Yeah.
Which then, if you only ever read that tweet, you're like, oh yeah, why aren't they doing that? It feels like he's one step ahead of everybody when really, if you don't follow it up and understand what actually is going on, you might think he's a step ahead of everybody.
He's a genius.
I mean, I wouldn't say no. I mean, because...
No, I completely get what you mean.
To become president of the United States from being not a politician and a kind of a TV star.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Anyway, Notre Dame. That's what we were talking about, not Trump, really.
No.
Terribly, terribly sad.
It was very sad.
Hopefully it gets sorted.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Is that it? I ain't got any more
that's
news.
it. That was the only news story that I had.
Not much has happened.
No.
It's horrible week.
Horrible week.
There you go.
Yeah. Right, should we do fake news or not?
Fake news or not?
Right, James. What is fake news or not?
So each week I bring to the table some fake news stories or some real news stories, and you have to work out the difference and say whether they're fake or not.
Yes.
And there is a running score going, and you're winning.
I am winning.
It's sad to me. Have you updated on the website?
No, I've not.
Good. That doesn't count then. Last week's doesn't count.
2019 was the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which means...
It's still 2019.
2219.
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay, right, fine.
Right, so going in with a 3-point lead.
Oh, gosh.
Hit me.
Man charged in robbery
Uh-huh.
decided to do something new today, so he robbed a bank.
Okay.
That was his reasosoning.
So I suppose as far as reasons go, that is a reason to rob a bank.
And another one.
Yeah.
Second one. Another man.
I'm seeing a trend here.
Yeah, accused of dipping testicles in customers' salsa.
Oh. Okay, right, let's go back to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Did he successfully rob a bank and was caught later? Was he caught in the act?
I think he was caught in the act.
Caught in the act, okay.
He got caught in the act. Basically, why did you do this? And
Yeah.
he said, I wanted to try something new, so I robbed a bank.
So his motivation was not money. It was just trying something new.
Yeah, basically. He got away with about 10.5 grand and then
10.5 grand.
got caught. Yes.
Right, okay. That's not really much to dig into there.
No.
No? Next one. Right. Is he a repeat offender? Is this multiple salsa dips against one person?
So it's I think it's one person
Yeah.
dipping into one customer's
Yes.
that he's been caught.
Okay.
So he may have been doing it
He
in the past.
may have been doing it. So what led this person to believe that testicles had been dipped into his salsa?
That's a good question, Ben.
Yes.
I like to believe that she could just taste that testicles had been in
And
her
just
salsa.
knew.
Like she knew, like, I've tasted testicle salsa before.
Because I feel you have to be very sure
Yeah.
because I don't like complaining in a restaurant setting anyway. I think it's very awkward to call someone over. It has to be something drastic. So you've got to be pretty sure of yourself to go, can I see a manager? This salsa has had testicles dipped into it.
Okay. So the actual story is it was like a delivery to someone's house.
Right.
And the man doing the dipping recorded himself dipping the testicles in the salsa.
Okay. I'm assuming that these two people had known each other prior in some form, and this was an act of revenge.
It was an act of revenge, yes.
Okay. What happened?
So he said that's when you give a shit tip for an almost 30-minute drive.
How would he have known that she was going to tip badly?
Maybe it was the second time he's delivered to that house.
Okay. Right. So you're suggesting what happened is he delivered the food.
Right.
She ate the food.
Yep.
And then he'd have, at X amount of time, say 30 minutes later, he'd sent the video to her.
I think he just posted it online.
Oh, okay. Right. So let's go back to the first one. Robbed a bank, and he said his motivation was he wanted to try something new. Nothing sounds fishy about that. I'm
Okay.
not condoning robbing a bank,
Right.
but I don't think that's completely out there that someone might go, yeah, bucket list, I'm going to rob a bank. Let's rob a bank. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going, that's true.
Okay.
That's a real story that's in existence.
Right.
And this next one, your reaction is very much throwing me off because I'm leaning towards this being a true story.
Okay.
But you seem suspicious in the way that you've delivered it.
It's because I've just reading it as I'm going along, isn't it?
I'm going both true.
Okay. They are both true again.
Yes.
God damn it.
I'm a genius.
Yeah. No. Maybe you're just getting better. Maybe I'm getting worse.
Yeah. That's just a statement for life.
I thought I could get you with the man charge for robbery because I felt like that was something I would make up.
Yeah, I did think that would be an easy one to fake.
Yeah.
There's not really any details to dig into there.
No.
But it just didn't seem that out there. It just seemed too real.
God damn it. Maybe you're just getting too good at this.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to cull this section.
Just so if I get enough of a lead,
Yeah.
you're going to throw your toys out the pram and
Yeah.
end the whole section.
And if it gets too much, I'll just quit the podcast. Not playing no more.
Next week when we don't publish an episode, you've heard the reason why.
Fake news or not, we're not publishing because James quit.
Yeah, basically. Right then, well, I'm breaking away into even more of a lead.
You are, sadly enough.
Yeah.
Damn it. Right, should we do Will You Recommend?
Let's do it.
Have you seen anything this week? I've seen something. I don't know if you've heard of this one.
Mm-hmm.
Game of Thrones.
I've heard a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a bit niche.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit on the side, you know.
Yeah.
Some people might not have heard of it.
It's coming back, isn't
It's
it?
coming back, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the most recent episode?
I have.
Good?
Yeah, I think it was good.
Okay. I don't want to do spoilers and stuff like that.
Well, were you not a fan of it? The way you asked
No,
me?
I know. I thought
Oh,
it was very good.
you thought
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
okay.
It felt more action packed than some of the more
Yes.
other seasons.
I'm very glad that it's all finally coming together.
Yeah.
Because I did almost lose interest in Game of Thrones during season 5, I think.
Right.
Where it's just it has been dragged out a bit.
The thing is, I think the problem was like people were everywhere.
Yeah.
And to like flush out everybody's stories, there was a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that had to be done everywhere, and so episodes were quite long and like nothing really happened. But then stuff needed to happen so that stuff could happen later on.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like a filler, just
Yeah.
so that you know why stuff happens later on.
But now they're all together doing stuff.
And shit's happening. Shit's going down.
And it's good. And Game of Thrones is good. And
Yeah. I think at this
final
point
season.
you have either watched it
Yeah.
or you're never going to watch it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
The running times of the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Game of Thrones flat out lied to everyone.
Yeah, didn't they say they're going to be like an hour and a half or something?
They said that multiple episodes, I can't remember if it was multiple, they definitely said one of them would be feature length, like
Right.
film. And I think the longest it gets to is 80 minutes, which I think is on the border. It's not really traditional film. You'd expect about 2 hours
Yeah.
nowadays, really.
Mm-hmm.
So they lied.
That's like, it's nearly an hour and a half though, isn't it?
Yeah. Hour and 20.
Hour
It's
and
a
20.
short film.
It's a short film.
Short film.
It's a long short film.
It's a long, short film.
Or a short long film.
And it's TV is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's good. And we like it. And talking of films,
Yes.
I've seen a film, and I didn't even see it this week. I saw it last week, and I forgot to talk about it.
Okay, what is it?
Shazam.
Right, now tell me now you've you've sparkled it up beforehand.
So DC's latest film, Shazam.
Okay, what's it about?
It's about a boy called Billy who gets given powers. Whenever he says Shazam, he turns into a superhero called Shazam,
Buff sexy dude.
and he is a superhero.
How does he stop being Shazam? Does he have to say Shazam backwards?
Shazam again, yeah, and then he'll turn back into a 40.
Does he not say it backwards?
No, he does. He just says Shazam.
No, I'm not going to work it out.
And I was pleasantly surprised.
As it was good.
It was. I don't think it was a groundbreaking film, but it was fun and it was good.
How many bars?
I'd probably give it 7.
I was like out of 5.
Oh yeah, that's out of 10. Oh, we operate on 5, don't we?
Yeah, and half bars.
I'd be hesitant to give it 4 because it didn't feel like a really good film. But I enjoyed it. I want to give it 3, but it's a good 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's a recommendation.
Okay.
I'm not just giving it a mediocre score, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I hope that they can continue making more fun films that are well made and not just random messes.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking of just as you were talking then, I was thinking of another way that we could do rating systems that are still bars, but it's just then the volume and length of the bar is how good the film was. So it's like if it's like a shit film, it's like bah.
Yeah, bah.
It's not bar, it's bah. It's just ba.
All right.
And if it's so bad, it's just a b.
I'll give this one a bar.
Okay. What would you give like Black Panther, just so we've got like something to compare to?
Bar.
Okay.
Black Panther, we should say, is a film that I enjoy.
Yes. Okay. I thought Black Panther would be longer and more enjoyable than that. But
hang on. Maybe it needs to be more of a bar. Is that better?
I was thinking maybe bar.
But that sounds quite monotone.
Which is the length, though.
I don't like this system.
Fair enough.
I don't think it works.
I don't know how well it would compare to text as well. Do you know what I mean? It's just B and then just like a lot of A's.
No.
You could go up to a maximum of 10 A's, and that's like 10 star, but then everything would be a minimum of...
I don't know if you realise this, but a podcast is a listening medium.
I do understand that, right.
So we're not going to be spelling them out.
But what if we had a website of our reviews?
Yeah, that could... Okay, right, let me put another system forward to you. Okay. So it's like a star rating system.
Yeah.
Where you've got 5 increments.
Right, but 10 really.
But 10 really, because we'll use halves.
Half a bar. What is half a bar? Bah.
Well, no, we're going to get rid of that system.
Okay.
And you can just give it a number, and people will know that the higher the number, the better.
All right.
How does that system sound?
What, so like 12 billion bars? It's like a really...
Well, the maximum is 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's basically a star system.
So, for example, with Shazam, I'd give it 3 bars. Maybe 3.5.
So, ba.
We're going to get rid of the sounds.
No, ba.
Yes. If that's what makes you happy,
good.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. I think every time you have to rate something, you have to give it the bars.
Okay. Right. Shazam, 3.5. Ba.
Cool.
Okay. Is that satisfied you?
I'm happy now. Now. We can
I hope
move
we've
on.
not lost too many listeners over that. Right then, shall we go on to the main topic now?
Should we move on? Yes.
Okay. What are we talking about this week?
Well, inspired, I would say, by the section that is fake news or not.
Yes,
and
I think that's fair.
Regular customer, Florida man.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about basic news stories that are ridiculous, that all involve Florida man.
Yes. If you're not familiar with the idea.
Yeah.
It's a popular thing, isn't it, on the internet, that if you hear a crazy news story, it's normally preceded by Florida man,
Yeah.
and then something crazy happens.
I've heard it described as the worst superhero ever.
Yes. Yeah.
And it just goes around doing terrible things.
Doing terrible, terrible things. I think it's fair to say that you have more Florida man stories than I have. So I think you might have to take the lead on this episode.
Okie dokie. Right, let me decide which one I want to do. Okay, I'll start off with this one.
Okay.
This has a Florida man and a Florida woman.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a left curveball.
Okay.
That's the same, right?
That's a saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To start off with. So Florida woman, 73, scares off naked Florida man who was gyrating in a lewd manner by taking out her dentures and yelling, "Grandma, no teeth!"
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, that would scare me off if I was gyrating in a lewd manner.
Yeah, naked, completely nude.
Naked.
Yeah,
Yep,
naked,
yep.
yeah.
Okay.
So we have Penelope Petterson. That sounds like a fake person, doesn't it?
Sounds like a comic book character.
It does.
Yeah.
Found 20-year-old Axel Rivera on her porch on Friday morning. He took off his clothes and began gyrating at her in a lewd manner.
Yes.
Is there any way to gyrate at someone in an unlewd manner?
Well, this is the question that popped into my mind as you were saying it. I suppose you could be dancing if you were clothed, and some gyrating might be happening, and you could just say it's dancing and not being lewd.
Yeah, but if you can, can you do unidirectional gyrating, or is all gyrating unidirectional? What is a gyration? Ben, can you do a gyration right now, please?
I mean, I'm sitting, so I can't. Oh. If I was standing, I'd love to, but I'd say all gyrating is fairly unidirectional.
Yeah,
yeah.
To me, it's
kind of a
all
circular
around,
motion. Yeah. So you're
unless,
pointing everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Unless there was like one figure point, like round and a point, round and a point.
So you're suggesting a gyrate and a thrust.
Yes,
kind of highlighting.
That's what I'm guessing.
Okay,
that's my assumption.
Yes.
Prosecutors said alcohol may be a factor.
I'm gonna throw a stat out there now that I don't know. But I'm going to say at least 90% of the Florida Man headlines are going to have alcohol or drugs fueling them.
Yes.
Even if it doesn't say it.
It probably is.
It probably is.
Yeah. Right, have you got one?
I've got one.
Go on,
okay, so this one involves a Florida man and an alligator farm.
An alligator farm?
Yes.
Okay.
So the headline is quite simple. Florida man breaks into alligator farm.
Right.
Okay. So I want you to picture that this is you. You're this man.
I'm an alligator.
No. You're the man in the story. Okay. Right. So you're a man. You break into an alligator farm for whatever reason. Okay. Mm-hmm. So there's the security footage of this event happening. So we kind of know what happens. He goes up over a fence and he drops down the other side. If you were to drop into water and you knew that this was an alligator farm, what would you do? How long would you be in that water?
Am I in the frame of mind that I'm breaking into an alligator farm?
Yeah, it's very obviously signposted. This is an alligator farm.
I think if I'm doing that, I think my regard for my life has dropped massively. So maybe I'd go for a little swim.
Well, maybe if it was me, I'd be out that water like a shot.
Yeah, if I ended up there accidentally,
yeah,
then for sure.
Okay, this man breaks in, drops into, funny enough, a crocodile pond, not the alligator one. And he proceeds to swim in it for 4 hours.
Wow.
4 hours.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened in that 4th hour to finally spur one of the crocodiles to do something, but he was attacked in the 4th hour.
Okay.
So the crocodile chomps on his foot for a bit.
Yeah.
And the man manages to escape. Okay. He gets out of the farm and he's discovered in someone's front garden and they call the police. He's arrested. The highlight of this story is he left behind a pair of Crocs in the pond.
Of course he did.
When the police apprehended him, they asked him if he'd been doing anything funny in an alligator farm. He shouldn't have been in there, etc.
Yeah.
He said, no. I was kidnapped by an old man and held hostage. He had an alligator on a leash and he surrounded me with baby alligators who he told he was going to feed me to them.
Wow. I mean, that's a pretty good excuse.
Yeah.
I would do anything if I was being attacked by an alligator.
Mm-hmm. He was then arrested anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
He just sounds a little like he was on something.
Yeah.
Little-
That's why I'm saying either alcohol or drugs for most of these stories.
Yeah. Would you like another alligator-related Florida man?
Go on.
So this one, I don't know if you found this. So basically, I used my Reddit time up here, and I was looking through, and Reddit has a subreddit which is just Florida man,
Yeah.
where it has lots and lots of these different ones. So I was going through them to find some of the more
good
humorous ones.
Yeah.
But because of GDPR, a lot of like just local American websites just ban anybody from viewing it.
Right.
On the website.
Yeah.
So I only have the headline for this one.
No context.
No context.
Okay.
Florida man armed with live alligator chases people all over a convenience store screaming, "Y'all ain't out of beer, are you?"
You know what? I'm actually very happy that there's no more context
That's just
to this
good enough.
story because we can paint a picture here.
Yeah.
I'm actually very, very impressed if it is as it sounds that he's holding a live alligator.
Yeah. How big do you think it's like a full grown
I'm
alligator?
picturing a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that he's just holding it by its tail and using it like a club,
Yeah.
rather than like he's not
Like a
trained.
gun.
He's not trained to just like snap at people.
Yeah.
He just couldn't find anything to beat people with.
So he's just
He
swinging
just
it
found
round.
like an alligator outside. He's like,
Yeah.
this'll do.
This'll do. Y'all ain't out of beer.
Yep, y'all ain't out of beer, are you? Like, not even like
ain't
you're out of beer. I'm mad.
Yeah. Just. Do you imagine he's doing it in a friendly manner? Like he stopped someone working there. He's like, "Oh, excuse me, y'all ain't out of beer, are you?"
I
While
don't
he's
know.
brandishing an alligator.
Do you think it was only? It's only armed with an alligator because he was just maybe he was just a man carrying an alligator. Asks convenience store owner, "You ain't out of beer, are you?"
Yeah.
But because he's got an alligator, if he'd gone in with a gun
Yeah.
and screamed, "Y'all ain't out of beer, are you?" You're probably armed with a gun screaming that, aren't you? But if you're walking in with
this
an
is actually
alligator,
a very nuanced story.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like if you walked in with a dog, would it be armed with a dog? Do you know what I mean?
I feel like it's become a philosophical question.
Maybe wait. The article reads, "Florida man armed with live alligator." Maybe his arms are just live alligators. That'd be horrible. But maybe that's his superpower.
Yes, going back to our superpower episode.
Your arms are just alligators. God, that'd be terrible, wouldn't it?
Just a bit.
Gosh. Right, have you got another one?
Right, so headline is, Florida man allegedly stabs brother after macaroni and cheese goes missing.
Yeah, I've heard this one.
You've heard this one. So Randy Zipperer,
Yeah.
49, is accused of stabbing his younger brother following an argument about missing macaroni and cheese. A witness told deputies that Randy and his brother started arguing over the missing macaroni and cheese, and his younger brother helped him look. But during the hunt, his brother knocked over a beer that Randy had been drinking. This apparently angered him even more,
As it would.
and he stabbed him in the stomach. When asked if he did stab him, he admitted, "Oh, I did poke him a little with the knife, but I didn't mean to hurt him."
Pokey.
Pokey.
I like to imagine it was just a butter knife then.
Yeah.
And he's just butchered him with a butter knife.
Just, yeah. It reminded me of when you said that you got stabbed in the eye
Yes.
by Annie.
By an angry girlfriend.
Yeah, didn't mean to stab you, just poked you in the eye a little.
Just meant to poke you in the eye. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. It's actually, that's not the one that I'd heard.
Oh, okay.
I heard a very similar one of Florida man kills roommate over missing corn dog.
Oh.
So this sounds like a theme going there.
Mm-hmm.
Which you must, like, how hangry do you have to be to stab someone that's stolen your food?
I'd say there's not really a matter of how hangry you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of how drugged up you might be.
Or maybe how often it's happened in the past.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you every day, if
Stole
I had
my
made
mac
some
and cheese.
food and like put it in the fridge for myself,
Uh-huh.
and then I came home and my roommate had eaten it and then
Yeah.
denied it every day.
Would you stab them over it? That's the question, though.
Well, here's a story for you, Ben.
Go on. Don't say you've stabbed someone over.
Well,
Oh, God.
I'm not. It wasn't with a knife.
Where's this going?
Okay, so when I was in high school,
Uh-huh.
we were at lunch, and I think I was having like sausage and chips or something for lunch,
Yeah.
or something like that. And there's this one guy, Charles Pickering,
Okay.
calling him out now,
Yeah.
who stole one of my chips. Or maybe there was a couple of people that had like stolen some of my chips. And I said, next person to steal my chips, I'm going to stab you with a fork.
Okay.
So like there's a verbal warning of what's going to happen if you try and steal my chips. Charles Pickering didn't think that I would actually stab him with a fork. He stole one of my chips, and I stabbed his hand with a fork while he was stealing my chips.
So you could be perceived as one of these Florida man
Maybe
headlines.
yes. James stabs man with fork for stealing chips.
Did you puncture skin?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was kind of picturing it like hand on the table and just fork sticking out of his hand.
Yeah.
You didn't literally ram it through.
No, it was a warning stab.
A little poke.
A little poke. Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't draw blood.
No.
That I remember. Maybe Charles has a very different story of this.
Yeah. Long-term listener Charles, if you want to email in.
I think a few years later, me and Charles had a fight as well.
Did you?
Yeah. We're all right though.
Did you stab him?
No, I think he just like punched me once or twice.
Yeah.
And then the fight got broke up, and I was in like detention as well.
Oh.
So it was not much of a fight.
That's
isn't
rubbing salt into the wounds, isn't it? You get punched a bit, don't get a chance to do anything, and still get put in detention.
Yeah, and then I think I had to write a letter of apology.
Well,
and then I got pooped on by a bird. Not really.
That bit I do believe.
Yes.
Right, have you got another headline?
Yeah. Okay. Florida man caught on video licking. Right, you got to guess now.
Okay, caught a video licking.
I'll give you 10 guesses.
I'm gonna say this isn't a guess.
Okay.
It won't be a lollipop because
it's not a lollipop. It's not something you should be licking.
Acceptable. Okay. Caught licking. Well, seeing as we're in Florida, is an alligator.
It's not an alligator.
It's not an alligator. Okay, that's.
Do you want to do? I'm going to say it's an inanimate object.
An inanimate object. Okay,
I'll give you that
licking a traffic light.
No.
Licking. What would be really bad? Just licking members of the public.
That's not an inanimate object.
Oh no, that's not. I beg to differ. Licking.
I'll give you one more because I'm going to give you 10 because it's terrible listening.
It's going to go really far. Licking fresh produce from a shop.
No.
Okay.
Licking a doorbell.
Okay. Whose doorbell? Do we know?
Yeah. It just says licking a homeowner's doorbell, and we have a video of it.
Okay.
Would you like to watch the video?
Go on. I can always edit around this. Oh, what's he eating?
I think he got pizza.
Hang on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I counted at least 6 licks. Mm-hmm. What is he doing? Is he showing them his pizza?
It's not a pizza. I think he's.
What is it?
I think he's like a book. He's just like pointing at things in the book.
What is he?
I wonder if he's like cleaning the. So it's a Ring doorbell which has a camera in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's like licking the camera to make sure you could see what's going on. It's very odd. It's
very odd.
And so I saw this and I read the headline, and then the bit underneath is, he comes back and does one final lick. Oh, it continues. He's enjoying that. Anyway, and the bit underneath says, for the second time this year, surveillance captures a man licking a doorbell. This time it was at a home in Florida. And so I was like, what's the other time?
Okay.
And so Ring observed a similar behavior in California. And in this incident, a man allegedly licked the doorbell for 3 hours straight.
Oh my God.
Imagine 3 hours of licking a doorbell. 3 hours.
I was thinking 3 hours of doing anything is boring.
Just that repetitive. It must have been does he just that is just weird.
He must be so high.
Yeah. You're so high that you lick a doorbell.
That's absurd. That one was California, you said, wasn't it?
Yes.
But why? Because there's literally websites that will document day by day of every year for Florida man headlines. What's going on in Florida?
Do you want to? I've got a reason. Do you want to know? I looked up the reason why it's always Florida man.
I actually would like to know because I know it's a joke and it's funny, but the frequency of it is actually.
It's basically because Florida has these very easy access to public records.
Right.
So it's called sunshine laws. Uh-huh. So it's easy for journalists to get hands on their police reports.
Right.
So basically, as soon as it's been put into the system, journalists can
just trawl
ask,
through.
Basically ask for what's been added to the system since this date, and they have to provide it. And so they look through all the boring ones, and you'll find one that's headline worthy.
Yeah.
So this is why Florida man is always there.
So are you suggesting that there might be a Liverpool man or someone else man that just as much crazy stuff happens, we just don't know about it because police records aren't
That's what I'm
publicly
saying.
available?
That it's hidden from us.
Well,
Maybe there's a man near you. Maybe you are that. Ben, be the man that you want to see in the world. Go look at
we
Doorbell.
already know that you could be one.
Hey up. Hey up.
Right, so another one here.
Go on.
Florida man butt dials 911 and reports his own murder plot. Right, so the man in question, Scott Simon, got into a fight with another man at a Waffle House late one night. The police received a call and overheard a conversation where a man, Simon, can be heard telling someone else that he's going to follow someone home and kill him. Minutes later, 33-year-old Nicholas Walker was shot and killed whilst driving his car onto an interstate. Detectives then found and arrested Simon, and he was charged with first-degree murder. So he was telling his friend that he was going to go murder this guy he got into a fight with, had literally just pure chance dialed the police while he was doing it, and they traced him and arrested him.
Do you think that's what the police said? They were actually like buzzing.
Tapping into his phone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good cover story from the police there, isn't it? Do you know what I mean, oh yeah, you dialed 911.
But I thought if that did happen like that, there was something kind of sad at the same time, though, that they heard it was going to be happening, but couldn't get there quick enough to stop the murder. They just placed him to the murder.
Do you think they followed up on it like straight away, or do you think they were like, oh, they're just somebody's messing around?
True.
Because I wonder how many of those they
It'd be
get.
so hard to know, wouldn't it? Because I bet that they get thousands and thousands and thousands of calls every day.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if you have to check up on them. Yeah. So I think they probably would have. Because then if you get caught, don't you? You're wasting police time. That's a crime in itself, isn't it?
Well, there was a thing, I think this was news this week or last week. There was a woman that called the police, but her partner, who didn't end up killing her, she called them but couldn't talk to them because she'd have alerted him.
Right.
But because there's apparently a procedure which this article outlined that someone answers the phone, and if it's silent, they'll say, can you do something like tap the phone, cough, something to indicate you're there. Then they put you through to another line and ask you to input 555.
Right.
And then that's when they'll send police. Because they say that it happens so often that there's people accidentally calling that they couldn't follow up on all of them. So that's the procedure that's in place.
Okay.
And this article was just trying to highlight that's what happens because this woman couldn't do that.
Right.
And then ended up getting killed.
Gosh.
But yeah.
Do you want another story from my childhood?
Go on.
So I have accidentally called the police as a child as well.
Uh-huh.
So we used to have this phone in the room where we had a computer. The computer room.
Computer room.
And the phone up there was like still a corded one, and it was like up above a shelf. Mm-hmm. And I was calling my friend, whose number starts 888.
Right.
And so obviously in the UK it's 999, and I just misplaced my finger because I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And I just did 999.
Yeah.
And it just goes straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then then the police were on the other side of the phone. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I just like hung up. And basically what I did, I went round to my friends in the end, and then a police car came round to my house. Right. And were like, did you phone the police? And they were like, my mum and dad were like, no. Yeah. And then they were like, maybe my son did. And then they asked me, and I was like, yeah, by accident. Like, you should have told us. Right. And I hadn't.
How old were you?
Like 8, 9, 10?
9, yeah.
That like.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to paint a picture in my head because you were suggesting you hit the numbers because you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Were you going to call the whole number without looking? Yeah. When you said you lent up. So did you regularly do that? You'd call your friend,
I think so, yeah.
Whole number, just blind.
Well, I think usually I did it on the other phone, but I think I had done in the past.
That's impressive.
I think I still probably know what that number is.
Yeah,
maybe. I think I definitely did, because it was only the local number, so I didn't have to put in the code.
Yeah.
So it just like 888.
I suppose it'd depend on the area that you were in for if the police would respond to a silent call, because I bet in more built-up areas they physically couldn't. Whereas if you were in a quiet area and that happened, they might be able to just check up on. Yeah,
I think basically they sent round a policeman that lived on the road.
Yeah.
So he came and checked on and knew who we were.
Right.
So, yeah, but I think I remember got quite a stern talking to after that.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. I feel like this is space for a tangent.
Okay.
Have you ever had to call the police?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have. Have you?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Why would you like to tell your story, Ben? Go on.
Well, no, I'm interested if you have as well.
Yeah. Shall I go first then?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. This is while I was at work, so working at Tesco. And the security guard and a thief got into a bit of a tussle. So I rang 999.
Yeah.
And I didn't know the procedure of like, you have to say who you want first.
This is why I was asking the question, because it surprised me with how much you have to do before you talk to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, so there's a thief in the store, and they were like, yeah, but what do you want? I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, do you want the police, the fire, or the ambulance? I was like, oh, the police, please. And I put you through and like, doo, 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 doo. And then it goes through, and then I had to like explain what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was
Did
it.
the police come? Did they sort it?
They did. They came, sorted it. The woman was screaming blue murder, claiming she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
She may have been pregnant, but she probably wasn't.
No.
Because I saw her like 10 months later screaming that she was pregnant again. So
Right.
I think she was lying.
Long pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
My one was, I just moved to Liverpool, I think the first week, and I was walking around various places trying to get a part-time job, and I'd just left a job trial on like my second or third day of moving, and I walked past a doorway and realised that there was someone just lying in the doorway.
Right.
It was one of those ones where you see out the corner of your eye, and then when you actually look, I was like, oh shit, this guy's covered in blood and has glass sticking out of his face.
Shit.
So I was like, I don't know what to do here. So I kind of went over and I was like, I really hope he's not dead. And I was like, you all right, mate? And he did stir and then kind of came to. And I was like, is everything all right? Stupid question. But he was kind of very incoherent, didn't really say much. And then I managed to kind of get out of him that he'd been beaten up and left there. And I was like, let me call you an ambulance. And he was like, no, like, no police. Okay. So I was like, okay, let me just help you then. Let me get you somewhere, get you some cleaned up, something. And then he convinced himself that I was police. And he was like, I'm not going to talk to you, mate. I'm not going to talk to you. Get away from me. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay. So then I did start just kind of backing up. And then two women happened to walk past who said they were nurses. They were, because they saw something was going on and they were like, can we help? So I explained best I could, left him with them. And they said to me, go around the corner and call an ambulance.
Yeah.
So I went around the corner and he came round the corner while I was on the phone, saw I was on the phone. Then he tried to run off, but didn't get far because he couldn't really move.
Right.
So then I'd said ambulance and they'd put me through to the police.
Right.
So I had to say best I could what had happened. And then he ended up getting off somewhere, disappeared. And then I got a call from the police again later asking for more details. And then that got me thinking, I never knew what happened. And it kind of made me think, I wish that there was like a line that you could call and check up on what happened just out of curiosity.
I think you can do that.
Can you actually?
Like non-emergency police lines, I think so.
Yeah.
They might just go, I can't give any details at this time.
That's kind of
but
what I thought.
I think you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always wonder what happened to the guy, but yeah.
Yeah. I think I've had the police call on me.
Really?
I think so.
Was it when you stabbed someone with a fork?
It wasn't then.
Uh-huh.
Basically, it was Halloween, I think, 2 years ago. Do you remember when I shaved my head?
I don't think I actually witnessed it.
No. I'd shaved my head, so I was like a skinhead. And then I was going to a Halloween costume party as 11 from Stranger Things. So
Good
I was
costume.
Yeah. So basically, I was half wearing a dress. So I had the bottom half. I just had the dress on.
Why did I not see this?
I don't know. And no pictures were taken. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't get a single picture taken. People loved it. But I think I'd pulled it up, but I hadn't done the top bit on yet.
Yeah.
I was like wearing a top over the top half.
Top
over
on the
top
top,
half.
yeah.
I was wearing like a jumper over the top half. And had my friend Tom was coming round to stay at mine and visit.
Yeah.
And he was coming parking in a car park near mine. And I kind of like spotted that he was coming in, and I thought, you know what I could do here? I can scare him. So it was kind of getting dark, so I'd like creeped out of my flat, saw him like park up, but he went to one car park and then was like, oh no, I'm going to go to a different one. So I kind of like creeped my way over, and then eventually scared him. And then maybe, I don't know, 2 minutes later, before we got back into the flat, like this police car like comes around, does like a circle around the car park, sees us two talking. It's like not a big deal. Shining spotlights out, looking for somebody, and then goes away. And I'm thinking, because I was like hidden behind cars. I was like proper like
You
spy.
would have looked shady.
I looked shady as fuck. I looked like some sort of like skinhead wearing a skirt, but it was obviously not a woman, looking very strange, like running about hiding behind cars.
Yeah.
So I think I had the police called against me there.
I mean, if I saw someone skinhead wearing a skirt running around my car park at
Yeah,
night,
creeping up to someone that was like parking on their own.
Yeah, I probably would call the police as
Yeah.
well.
Fair enough. But they didn't come over and speak to me, so there you go.
Oh, dear.
Right, should we get back to Florida, man?
Yeah, should we? How long are we into now? Time's gone quite quick, actually. Should we do one more each and
Sure.
wrap things up? Or if you've got a few more.
I've got a few more.
Yeah, go on.
But do you want me to, here's one. Florida man threatened town with turtle army.
Okay.
Yeah. So police in Florida have arrested a man they say screamed obscenities and threatened to unleash an army of turtles on the entire town. And he was arrested for disturbing the police. Not the police.
I imagine it did disturb the police as well.
The peace is what I meant to say. Disturbing the peace.
Oh, God. I wish they'd not arrested him just to see what his turtle army was.
Police said Lane called himself the Saint and reportedly said his army of turtles would destroy everyone.
Of course they would.
That's about it.
That's about it.
That's literally all it gives me.
That's it.
Yeah.
Did he not do any more to prompt... Did you say he was arrested?
I think it was basically because he was just screaming obscenities and like,
okay.
I'll destroy you with my army of turtles.
Yeah. I was going to say, because if it was just a quiet protest of, I'm going to destroy you with my turtles,
Yeah.
it's not really that much of a threat.
No. Do you want me to hit you with some rapid fire ones?
Go on, rapid fire. Hit me.
Okay.
Maybe we can get some, like, fast-paced music going in the background.
Florida man knocks on woman's door at 3 a.m., punches her in the face and runs away.
Okay.
Florida man accused of stealing and snorting human and
Hang
dog...
on, I know we're doing fast-paced, but nothing more to that story.
These are just I literally don't have anything else. These are just headlines.
Okay, right.
Florida man accused of stealing and snorting human and dog ashes.
Oh, why?
Woman injured after bullets left inside oven by Florida man explodes.
Right, okay.
Florida man brought 14-year-old son to torch ex-girlfriend's car after she broke up with him via text message.
Seems fair.
Yeah. Barefoot Florida man steals 2 cases of mozzarella from Pizza Hut.
I condone that.
Florida man too fat for jail.
What? How fat would you have to be?
I think that's probably like you are bare stones.
Yeah.
And that you, not that you can't fit there, but it's probably like unhealthy for you. You'll die in jail.
Jesus.
Naked Florida man jumps off roof onto homeowner, knocks television over, empties vacuum cleaner and masturbates.
Can we have that one again, please?
Yes. Naked Florida man jumps off roof onto homeowner.
Jump onto the homeowner.
Yeah.
On the floor. Okay.
Yeah. Knocks television over.
Okay. I'm picturing, was the homeowner carrying a TV or is this after he's knocked him over?
I think he's after he's knocked him over.
Okay,
goes
so
inside.
Runs in his house.
Yeah. Knocks his TV over.
Bam.
Empties the vacuum cleaner. As in like the powder.
That's such a weird thing to do.
Yeah. Making a mess. And then masturbates.
That's
not a weird thing to do. Emptying the
No.
vacuum cleaner, not weird. Masturbating in somebody else's house.
What I mean is, that's such a specifically weird thing to do.
Yes.
Emptying a vacuum cleaner.
I imagine that he found the vacuum cleaner and was like, I'm just going to make a mess.
Yeah, because I could, running in somewhere, if you're going to trash it, I could imagine kicking over TV, stuff like that.
I don't know if that was the order they happened in.
I hope so.
Okay. Florida man assaults quadriplegic with a fish.
Quadriplegic?
Yeah, someone who can't move their arms and legs. So they're like in a wheelchair.
I don't know how I've never heard that term before.
I think it's a very American term.
Okay.
Police arrest ketchup-covered Florida man yelling profanities at tourists while sprawled in the middle of the street.
Right.
There you go. There's some fast-fire ones.
I realised earlier on in the episode, I asked, why Florida? Why so many? And your answer was, because police records are made public.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a lot of things
going
on in Florida.
It is.
I just can't imagine that everywhere has that many
maybe there's something special
things
about
going
Florida.
on. Something in the water over there.
I've got a similar story to the other one. That's Florida man breaks into home, plays with toy helicopter, eats salad, and masturbates.
Why did all of them end with that?
One of these things is not like the others, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Eating a salad, playing with a toy helicopter, masturbating.
Masturbating. Jesus.
Here's Here's the tagline underneath. If you're at home and you hear a mysterious fap, fap, fap noise, it might be a helicopter outside, or it might be this guy.
What? Someone had a ball writing that, didn't they?
They did. Dear.
Oh, God.
There you go. I've got a couple more if you want me to just finish them off.
Yeah, go on. I'm enjoying these.
Yeah. Florida man shoveling spaghetti into mouth arrested at Olive Garden.
Hang on. We need more details than that.
Basically, he wasn't arrested because he was shoveling spaghetti in his mouth. It's just that's what he was doing while he was arrested. So that's the title. Basically, he was being a knobhead. He was like...
Is that the reason he was arrested?
Being a knobhead. Proper Florida man is knobhead.
We're arresting you on account of being a knobhead.
Basically, he was drunk. He was being disorderly, just like shouting at people. And then I think he got some... He was like begging for money, went inside, got some spaghetti, went outside, was just like shoveling it into his face.
Yeah.
And then was arrested.
Yeah.
And another one where I have my access restricted, but I still found it.
You got the headline.
Florida man shoots woman with water gun filled with urine.
Oh, that was a very quick succession of events because you said shot, so I imagine they were killed. Water gun, oh no, she's all right. And then urine, oh, bad
terrible,
again.
Terrible.
Is that all of the Florida man's?
I've got there's one last one here.
One last one.
Florida man believed he was half man, half dog when he killed the couple.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hang on. He imagined he was half man, half dog when he killed...
Yeah. So he believed he was half a dog and half a man.
Yeah.
And therefore he killed some people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why would that spawn you to think, I'm going to kill them because I'm half dog?
I think because he had some sort of mental
illness. Yeah.
So something else I found while I was looking up this of like what reasons why is because Florida has got one of the lowest funding for mental health in the whole of the US.
Oh, really?
So that could be another reason why there's such a
high concentration.
Yeah.
God, we've managed to finish on a very down note there.
Sorry about that.
Here's some funny headlines, and the underlying reason is mental health.
Yeah, which is important to bring up and talk about.
Yeah, I don't know if this was quite the way to go about it, though.
Probably not.
No, probably not.
Probably not. But it's good to recognise it.
Yes.
And not just laugh at others' misfortunes.
Yes.
A little bit.
I mean, we've kind of done both of those things,
we have.
I hope. Well, I hope that we have highlighted some issues there.
Yes.
Right. Before we move on,
yeah,
you know what next week is? It's the most exciting week, not even of the year. It's just the most exciting week ever.
Is it your birthday?
It's not my birthday.
But it feels like it.
It's not far from my birthday, actually.
It's not.
But this is better than my birthday.
Okay.
It's gonna be
no,
not Game of Thrones.
Oh.
We're already into that. It's Marvel's Avengers Endgame.
Ah, okay.
It's the closing.
Do you think we should watch it?
Of a 10-year. Should we watch it? We're gonna be watching it. Not only are we gonna be watching it. What's our plan, James? Because this is commitment on your part.
Yeah, I think I agreed to this when I was in a good mood and less tired. We're going to watch a double helping of Infinity War and Endgame, maybe. If we book the tickets, depending where we go. Yeah. Which will then, Endgame will show at midnight. We're going to record a bit of the podcast beforehand.
Yeah, where we're just talking about everything Marvel.
Ben, basically, I might as well not be there for that. Yeah. Ben will just talk about Marvel, and I'll be like, and then we're going to watch the film, and then we're going to come back and record our thoughts.
Yes. So...
And then I'm not going to sleep, and I'm just going to go straight to work.
And I'm going to go to bed.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But sounds fair for me.
Forewarning for anyone who has not caught up with Marvel things... Do that between now and then you'll enjoy the episode a lot more.
Yeah, or just listen to us ramble about something you've never I've no idea what's about.
Yeah, or just skip the episode completely. Don't do that.
Don't do that. We need your views.
Listens. That's correct. Right. Need I remind you again? We're a listening format. Podcast is.
But Ben, I'm looking at you right now.
Other people can't see through their headphones, though, James. Anyway,
Right.
That's been another week of Two Sheep in a Pool. If you like what you've heard, give us a rating on your podcast app of choice.
If you're a Florida man, recommend this podcast to the people.
And just give us some stories from your escapades.
Yes.
Because if you're from Florida, they're guaranteed to be interesting. You can find us in all the normal places on Facebook, Twitter, all of that. Not that we're using those things anymore.
No.
Our website's twosheepinapool.com, and if you want to email us, it's bar@twosheepinapool.com, BAA, like a sheep. My name's Ben. I've been one of your hosts.
My name's James, and I'm a Florida man.
See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.